Welcome guys, my name is Sebastian. This is a video about a DPF filter. If you haven't seen our video about an EGR valve, go back and watch that. This is another part for the emission standard series. We're going to talk about what a DPF filter does, how it's doing it, what kind of damage it can cause, and how expensive it is to run. So DPF stands for diesel particulate filter, and what it does, it catches soot from your exhaust, and it looks like a muffler, but it's a fine micron filter in there, and it catches the soot as your exhaust goes out. It catches and traps the soot in the filter. So when that happens, it's building up in that filter, and as it builds up, it creates back pressure, and the back pressure is monitored by a pressure sensor. So the pressure sensor sees a lot of pressure, sends it to the computer, hey, we need to do a regen, and the regen happens in three ways. The first one is a passive one, which you're rolling down a highway at a higher engine speeds, higher RPM. The engine, the combustion is capable of the temperature, operating temperature is capable of performing that regeneration. The second one is active mode, and the active mode happens when the duty cycle doesn't produce high enough temperatures to perform the regeneration. So the computer asks to dump additional fuel in the combustion chamber, and it's not provided for the power for the engine. Is provided to increase the temperature of the filter, therefore help the regeneration happen and clear the filter from soot. And the third one happens manually. It requires driver action, which means you get a message on your dashboard. It's going to say your DPF is full, perform a manual regeneration, and that usually happens when you're parked with your parking brake set, and then you select it in the menu, and it takes about 30 minutes for the whole cycle to be completed. So the big problem with DPF is that if none of those regeneration modes work and you can no longer clear the filter from soot, then you're going to have to take it out and send it for service. There are two ways that you can do it. You can send it in for baking, and there are two stages. One stage is if it's not clogged up a lot. The second one is if it's very clogged up, and if it doesn't help, then you just have to purchase a new filter, which is expensive. It's I would say north of $4,000 plus labor. So it depends on the manufacturer, but it's definitely an expensive system to maintain. So you definitely want to look into the records when you're buying a truck. Has it been done? Has it been replaced or cleaned? That's going to save you a ton of money. So when none of that happens, you can't clean it anymore, and the DPF is so clogged up that the modes can't do anything. You're going to have two icons show up on your dashboard. It's hot and full. And what that means is shortly after, you might receive a message that will tell you that the engine is going to be derated. And what happens when your engine gets derated means it will prevent you from driving further and damaging the engine. It can drop very quickly from 65 to 45 to 15, and as soon as you see that message that your engine will be derated, you better find parking, or if you're lucky, find a truck shop. So when the DPF gets clogged up, it increases the temperature, it creates a lot of back pressure. You're going to see both of those icons show up on your dash. When you create a lot of back pressure and the exhaust doesn't have anywhere to go anymore, the soot stays in the engine. This dumps a lot more soot into the system. The engine starts running a lot less efficient. It's going to start running cooler and therefore producing more soot, and it's just a closed loop that now it's going to clog up your oil ports. The oil is not going to do what it's not going to get to the places that it's supposed to get, and the additional fuel that was dumped in the engine was supposed to increase the temperature for the regeneration. Now it's dumped and mixes up with your oil, and that will stop the oil from doing its job, and is going to cost you your engine, which means it's going to be a catastrophic engine failure because your DPF system went bad. Those are the problems with a DPF filter if it's not maintained properly. It pays off to do the homework and ask questions about the DPF and records of maintenance. That will save you a lot of downtime, headache, and money if you know what happened with the DPF. That's about it. Our next video is going to be about an SCR system. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't, and share your video, and drive safe.